Next up, we have Phantylia, the Undying boss theme finalized album version. This is all the phases from the Honkai Star Rail 1.2 soundtrack. This is going to be 3 tracks put in one. This is going to be the ephemeral cycle, even immortality ends, and limitless its existence. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you're going to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and do this. Phantylia, the Undying, let's go. Okay, so we start with 2 main components over here, 3 main components. One of them being the vocals at the very high, giving us those song ahs, kind of like a women's choir. Then we have the drums. The percussion seems to be like war drums with maybe a bass drum. Very, very cool. And then we have what seems to be a mix of a synth and some brass. So it seems like we're having some orchestral elements over here, so we have to bring in our usual image of an orchestra. So here it is, right? So brass instruments are going to be, it seems like in this case could be like a tuba. This one over here, trombones. It seems like a combination of these two plus a synth, or maybe put through a synthesizer, something like that. We're having those. Then we are having the first one playing together, all of them. Then we have them playing separately, then playing again, moving throughout the different chords that they're playing, giving us an initial possible melody that could be our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. Let's see where this goes. Yeah, there's the synth. Oh, so good. So yeah, the women singing are keeping up with the motif, and in the meantime we have brought in some percussion, giving us that initial beat, and now we are having what seems to be maybe violas and cellos, giving us a little bit of extra rhythm, doing 2 things. One of them is, oh, I forgot to delete this. One of them would be playing syncopation. Syncopation is when you play against the beat, and the type of syncopation we're doing is called a polyrhythm. Polyrhythm being, it's just pure syncopation, I think. Yeah, no, it's polyrhythm. So a polyrhythm, just making sense of things in my head, right? So polyrhythm is when you have more than one rhythm playing at the same time for the contrast of the 2 rhythms, right? Like the difference between the rhythms is what makes it sound cool. The most popular one, of course, being the 3 versus 2 polyrhythm, where you have one part doing 2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, and the other one doing 3s, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you have. So we're having something like that in our polyrhythm, a lot slower with the violins or these strings doing their thing. Let's see where this goes. Introducing the... Ooh. There we go. We are bringing in the trumpets as well, playing some more complex chords. We are having some of the violins giving us an initial stinger. Stingers being like one and done. You heard the violins going very high up very fast. We're having that happen. Let's see where this goes. Now we're... There's the violins with our first version of the melody. Okay, and now the violins are doing what is called a doubling with the vocals. Doubling is when you have more than one instrument playing the same thing at the same time, or doing the same thing at the same time. Let's see where this goes. Violins and violas, I think, or violins and cellos, giving us that melody. And now in between, the violins have gone from doing the doubling from the vocals over to doing some accompaniment. Joining the accompaniment being whatever doesn't have the spotlight, whatever doesn't have the lead. In this case would be the percussions, the rhythm, the polyrhythm happening, and on top of that we're having the violins doing some arpeggios. Arpeggio being when you play a chord one note at a time. We're doing some partial ones, so for example here C minor, and we're doing something like that kind of arpeggio is what we're doing over here. Something along those lines, right? Let's see where this goes. Stinger there. Trumpets coming in every once in a while. Percussion. Moving from chords to chord. Giving some melody to the accompaniment. Adding a couple of extra percussive elements to this. So yeah, over here it was mainly using that polyrhythm again and giving a little bit of the motif over to the polyrhythm while maintaining that same rhythm. Really cool. Let's see this change now. For a couple of seconds. And a bit moment of that, and more complex. Okay, so now we had a brief moment of those arpeggios escalating a little bit, and now we have brought back the polyrhythm. The percussion now is doing something slightly different. Not too different, just adding a couple of extra beats to what they were already doing. Let's see where this goes. Oh, sorry. Arpeggios there. Removing everything, just having the pure melodies. All the melodies doing their thing, and we're about to switch over to the second track. Okay, so very quickly, we end this one. We do one last run of the melodies, variation. We hold some notes high in some of the violins, and we end this part with what is called a half cadence. So when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you're resolving that tension. That point in between, we often call the cadence. Now, as I said, half cadence is a type of cadence that you can do in which you build the tension and you deliberately do not resolve it in that section so that it can resolve either in the following section or in the next track altogether, or that it loops back to the beginning. In this case, it seems like it could do either, so that you can stay on the same phase for a bit, or once you can jump into the next phase, it gives you an easier point for that. Self-promotion time, because I do this myself. Warning, these are orchestral melodic death metal, so it's very intense music. You have been warned. But if you listen to my song Second Conquest by me, song ends with this massive escalation. The guitars are going insane, the drums are doing their thing, the orchestra is escalating and escalating. There's like even a quote from Genghis Khan going on, and it ends on a half cadence. It builds up and it doesn't resolve the tension. And then if you listen to my song As We March, also by me, the cadence resolves there. You get that resolution of the cadence going straight into the second song As We March. So if you listen to them back to get back, you get the half cadence and the resolution right away. So let's go back a couple of seconds to hear that half cadence, and let's see how it resolves, or if it resolves into the next piece. Into the next part. We just did Pedujara Ephemeral Cycle. We're about to do Pedujara Even Immortality Ends. Molotok, welcome today. How you doing? And Hide and Slide, welcome today. I forgot to say hi. So let's see. There you go. So now what we are getting over here, we are now getting a variation. So these kinds of compositions, especially from Mihoyo, we are engaging now in a more macro type of form. Form is in music the structure, right? And it can be the structure of your individual piece or the structure of an overall composition. Right now, we are engaging in the type of form that is called movements. In the classical world, usually you would have music engaging in movements that would often follow what we call the sonata form. Sonata form is for what used to be piano sonatas, which is, the big keyboard instrument of the time, and it was the most accessible one that people would explore most with, because, it's what composers had often access to. So with that, we now have the sonata form. Sonata form usually involves 3 movements. The first movement, movement 1, is going to be an introduction. It's usually going to be a good pace, so it's going to be not too fast, not too slow. It's going to be a good balance of a pace. Movement 2 is going to either be an escalation, or is going to be a march. That was the common practice, right? It would either slow down to a march or slower. So it could either be an escalation of the first movement, a march version of the first thing, or slower. And all of the movements would be usually based around the same motif. So not only do we have the individual motifs and everything, we are not only using them in a single piece, we're using them throughout an entire composition. And then movement 3 would usually be the climax. It would be the climax, which would usually be faster, way faster, of some sort, to give you that bombastic finale, right? So we're having that right now. We had the first movement, which was that very fairly well-paced introduction to that kind of stuff. The bot is working, hell yeah. Now we are about to enter movement number 2, an escalation of the previous movement, but we are using now a variation of the original motif that we had. We are having an introduction that is simply a variation of the first introduction, mirroring the first movement that we had, which is fairly common in this kind of composition. So let's see where this goes. Okay, so as you can see, as you can hear, we now bring a little bit more lyrics to, like, the vocals are a little bit more active, and we are having the violins now doubling as well. And you hear, like, we went from having that polyrhythm to now having this more marching beat to this, because we went from having the bang, 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 bang kind of thing that the violins, that the cellos had in the first one, to now this one being a more marching style. Bang, 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 bang kind of rhythm. So we've moved from one to another. This one is now following the marching. So we have the balance introduction. Now we have the marching movement. We are following the same type of form that composers like Mozart, composers like Beethoven, composers all over the place, Haydn, Mendelssohn, everybody has followed when it comes to sonata form. Over here we have movement number 2. Let's see where this goes. Media, welcome today. How you doing? Oh. So yeah, you can hear that the brass as well. We're having the trumpets, trombones a lot more active now, giving us some more arpeggios. The melody and the vocals is a lot more active as well, but still maintaining that initial motif that we are using. Very much variations of what we were doing before. Right now, the vocals are doing what the violins were doing in the first movement. So this is just a variation of the first movement, which is what you're supposed to do in movement number 2. So yeah, let's see where this goes. And we have this is really cool. So we switch over to this more stable rhythm, and we are now doing a call and response. Call and response is a musical conversation between 2 or more parts, in which you have one part doing something, a call, and the other one then responding. In this case, we are having notes played by the violins, responded by the cellos, and you can hear them on one ear. One of them starts in one ear, then responded in the other one. The violins are going up, the cellos are going down in their melody. Let's see where this goes. This is really cool. Slight variation there. The percussion is giving us the polyrhythm now. Oh, introducing the... So yeah, over here, we're just changing from one chord to another chord. Very, very much. Oh, this is really cool. So yeah, now we're having the phrase. We're having another variation of the original motif. This is really cool in general. Let's see where it goes. Ooh, adding some extra doublings. So we're bringing some flutes here, more instruments, louder, giving us doublings of that initial motif, while we are having the vocals still sounding. It sounds slightly like artonelico to you. It's the vocals. It's the notes singing, the Japanese notes singing, or I guess in this case, I guess this is Chinese. Might be Chinese, because it's miHoYo, so chances are it's like the Chinese variation of that, the nasal singing. I think it's that, and the fact that we're having a bunch of polyrhythms happening at the same time. So it could. I think it's the overlap of those, because with Artonelico we've seen that. Let's just see where it goes. Changing the chord, more percussion. Oh. Ooh, changing the rhythm again. Bringing some electronic elements, bringing back the brass. And yeah, right now we have switched from what we would call straight eighths to triplets. We're going from eighths to triplets. You could hear it. The change is very clear, right? Like in the first one, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now we're going 1 ta 2 ta 3 ta 4 ta. That is the change from straight eighths to triplet eighth notes. Probably one of the most clear-cut examples we could possibly have. Let's see where this goes. Brass adding to this. Okay, so now we go to this quasi-hip-hop version. We bring in these drums, some synths, we bring back the polyrhythm with the violins, and now we go back to the straight eighth notes. We are now having the vocals really lay out a bunch of text over here. That's an insane escalation. I was not expecting this to work as well as it did for the escalation. The hip-hop is here, and somehow, with these changes, it sounds somehow more intense than the orchestral stuff we just did. This is a very good use of this kind of bait and switch. Man, let's see where this goes. Oh, it's Chinese rapping. It's Chinese rapping. That's what it's the Chinese rapping. We're having those layers of the vocals doing doubling, so we have multiple layers of women singing the same thing, but they're doing different notes, and they're just oh my god, this is so good. Yeah, no, we're getting everything we've done so far in essence, just in hip hop form. It's miHoYo, so it's Chinese. Yeah, I know. So yeah, let's see where this goes. That high note. Bringing back the orchestral elements. Oh my god. Okay, so off the ramp we go. We have a synth now giving us some of those arpeggios, doing a variation of what we were doing at the outro over there. Off the ramp, of course, being when type of transition that makes your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land, kind of like going off a ramp. How do you do that? Remove the drums. That's exactly what we did over here. This is brilliant. Let's see where this goes. Still with the polyrhythms. How are we gonna end this? Half cadence. Slowing down and... we resolved the cadence. Now for the third movement, Demisless Existence. Third movement, so this one should be the climax movement. So far, we have had the three movements that we have done in sonata form pretty faithfully. First movement was balanced, was the introduction. Second movement has been the march. Third movement should be, predictably, the climax. Let's see what we got. Alright, we do a similar start from the first movement. No vocals. There are the vocals. So yeah, everything is faster. The polyrhythms are faster. We have more percussions. We have brought in the what's the name of the Chinese koto? Is it the koto? Like the koto is the Japanese one. The Chinese one. The Chinese version of the koto. I always forget the name of this one. The Chinese version of this one. We're having that one playing over here. We're going all out. With this, we're going all out, but it should still all be, like, the introduction still mirrors that of the first two movements. The guzheng, thank you, the guzheng. The guzheng. Thank you, the guzheng. There you go. Yeah, we're using a guzheng. So yeah, the main difference, as far as I know, is that the koto you play with, like, finger picks, and this one you play without. Like this one with nails at most. Structurally very similar instruments. Let's see where this goes. Speeding up. Violins carrying the melody. High note. Percussion. Oh. Giving us, okay, so we have flutes in the background, we have percussion in the background, and we have now gotten a flying melody. Excuse me. Flying melody being another colloquial term that I use along with off the ramp. Flying melody is a lot easier to explain because we have the very busy bass percussion middle ground, and then we are having this melody higher up above, slower, simpler than everything else, just flying above the landscape that has been created. Beautifully done right now, and it's just climactic as hell. Let's see where this goes. This is beautiful, dude. Arpeggios from the flutes. Okay, so the synth that we had at the end of movement 2 with those arpeggios is now back. So movement number 2 was teasing this synth making its comeback and doing that. That's clever. That's clever. Because at the end of movement 2, it was a little bit difficult to tell, like, oh, why did we switch over all of a sudden to hip-hop? What is this synth doing over here? Like, musically, it's doing similar stuff, but why, right? This is why. Let's see where this goes. Bringing back the vocals, there you go. Help notes, there we go. Off the ramp. Guzheng. Oh, we bring that really cool synth bass. Back to the orchestra. Oh, beautiful motif. Beautiful variation of the motif. This melody is just so beautiful. We're also having the French horns, these guys over here, holding down those chords. Again, the French horn just has such an unbelievably warm sound, especially if you play it not too wild. So let's say we have a French horn over here, right? Like I have a sample of a French horn. Like, by itself, it has such a sound, but if you can figure out how to make a good sounding French horns... Wait, that's too high. Let me go do this still an octave lower. And this is like a super... Like, this is one of the simpler... You can get a very, very lovely, warm sound to these instruments. Very, very mellow kind of sound that you can get with these. How about the sustain? So yeah, no, now I'm messing around over here. I kind of got lost in thought over there. But yeah, no, we're having the French horns very subtly in the background. Why does your keyboard have different colors? Oh yeah, so the keyboard having different colors for this, it's the emulation over here. So these buttons down here are the red ones, the light blues. These are for different expressions in they're called the key switch. These are key switches, so they change the type of thing. This is very common for virtual instruments, where you have different ways of emulating the instrument. So you can see over here, this one is the regular sustain. Then we have like forte piano, right? So it changes the type of samples that you're getting. This one from below, I don't really know what it does. But yeah, that's usually what these kinds of key switches do. So yeah, back to this. We are having now the strings. Yes, banana. The strings doing this beautiful, beautiful rendition of the melody. Let's just see where this goes. This is beautiful. Ergo? Oh. There's the French horns with the violins giving us that beautiful combination. There's this... Okay, we bring back the arpeggiated synth back at it, giving us some insane arpeggios, a little bit slower than before. I just want to see where this goes. Let's see. Oh, several doublings. Climactic. So cinematic. Absolutely cinematic. Cello solo. Violoncello solo with a colon response. Colon from a cello solo. Response from the violins and the percussion. There's the arpeggiated percussion thing again. Bringing back the women. How's this gonna end? Oh, one acceleration. Half cadence once again. In this case, it's acceptable because this is not designed to be the same type of third movement that is conclusive, but this is the kind of thing that you're supposed to be able to loop in the game. And there you have it. Sounds like World of Tanks. We haven't done any World of Tanks yet. And there you have it. All three movements following sonata form very faithfully. And there you have it. That was the Phantylia, the Undying boss theme, finalized album version from Honkai Star Rail, the Phantylia ephemeral cycle, Phantylia even more immortality ends, and Phantylia demisless existence from the Honkai Star Rail 1.2 soundtrack. What a journey that was. Which is the point of sonata form. It's supposed to take you on a journey, and that was awesome. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you're going to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first, whether it's the streams going live, the videos going up in the channels, updates, projects, anything else. It all gets announced first. Of course, that's where we have the community as well. That's where we hang out, where we steal other servers' memes, claim them as our own. And of course, it's where I host the Vintage Story server. Join the Discord, linked in the description. Do that. Once again, at the time of recording, we recently passed 9,000 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you once again, everybody, for that. Awesome stuff. I am grateful every single day for this, so yeah. Make sure that you share these videos with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two very distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, go share these videos with everybody that you know. Also, use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, linked in the description. That's another reason to join the Discord. Look at that. Artists on YouTube or otherwise, musicians. This is an open invitation. Let's work together. If you want any of my musical skills, whether it is my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, good old ooh, kind of thing, regular singing, voice acting, whatever it is, reach out, let me know. Let's make stuff together. Let's make stuff. Let's work. And if you're in the audience and you know somebody that could benefit, reach out, let them know. Please do not harass anyone. Please do not spam anyone. Be cool about things. Don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. That is up to 1 week in advance. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. If you are on the live stream, you can go ahead and start requesting for the next round. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central Europe. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. Another reason to join the Discord. So if you live in El Ojo de San Pedro, in St. Peter's Eye, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to the Discord or Twitch, and it's going to show in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen, recorded live during the main stream, the main channel's after show. Then the recordings go here, linked in the description, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you have it. Phantylia, the Undying, Honkai Star Rail. What a journey that was, dude. That was really, really cool. Really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.